What's up, guys? Pitfighter here. Welcome to my crash course on how to get started in Dauntless. We're going to be going over character customization and cosmetics. We're going to be going over weapons and equipment. We're going to be talking about the middleman and cells and upgrading cells and buffing your gear, mastery levels, starter gear, behemoths and breaking their parts, orbs and upgrades, wounds and interrupts, and the evade window and the timer that you have to be immune. So sit back, enjoy the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are in the city. After you've killed your first behemoth, it drops you off here in the main city. Now there is only one place here to run around and get quests and stuff. There's no other world that you can run around. There is no free roam. This is pretty much like a HUD based game. So in the city here, everything you need to get prepared for your hunts and everything, craft gear, all the stuff you need is right here. If you look up on the top of the screen, you can see as I move my camera around, the compass is showing me a bunch of different icons on the map. That's going to be key for you to start out and get quests, because you're going to see little yellow quotation marks pointing you in the direction as to where the quest givers are. So it's going to seem a little weird at first. You're going to be like, what the hell do I do? Well, best way to start is go over and start accepting some quests so you can get the ball rolling. Now let's start out with the character customization and modifying and all that fun stuff. One of the things I realized right when I launched the game was I couldn't delete my character and start over. I couldn't customize him and make him again. And the great thing about this is you can. There's a mirror right here. You can access this mirror. It's kind of hiding right in front of the cosmetic vendor. You access this mirror, it puts you right in the same exact character creation menu that you had from the beginning. Now you can completely alter your character, from the character being male or female. You can add beards, hair, color, everything, and save it at any time. It doesn't cost you any in-game currency or any real money. You don't have to delete all your progress to remake your tune. You can just constantly have OCD and change it as many times as you want, which is awesome. Speaking of cosmetics, there is a season pass you can buy, an elite pass. Normally you're going to be getting the basic rewards for just being on the game and playing during the season, which is good. I mean, you don't have to buy it. You still get some periodic rewards, but if you were to buy the elite pass, you're going to get quite a bit more rewards. Now, the elite pass is not just cosmetic. You do get cores and, aether dust and stuff like that. So these items are really important in the game. They are very beneficial to get. You're still going to get quite a few playing for free, but obviously if you pay the premium, they're just going to give you a bit more of everything, which is great. So it is worth it to get the Elite Pass. I mean, it is a free-to-play game, so supporting the developers is a good thing. Obviously, we want to keep this game alive, and we want to keep, have them keep making content and all new stuff for us. So yeah, that is a great way to support the developers. All right, let's go over weapons and masteries and trying out each weapon and why you'd want to do that. Now, when you first start the game, you're going to be given for free a recruit weapon of each kind. You're going to see you have a recruit chain blade, a recruit hammer, a recruit axe. The reason they give you one of each thing is because of the mastery system. The way this game is set up, if you look in the rewards, not only do you get rewards for completing basic mastery, but then they give you a mastery level for the behemoths themselves, for different things you do killing different creatures. And then you've got a mastery for each weapon. So you basically, instead of just getting overall XP and then spending it on, say, whatever weapon you prefer, this game is designed where the more you use something, the more you get. So as you can see, I use guns a lot more than I use, say, pikes or swords. But if I want to unlock, say, a couple more cores, and I'm trying to get, more cores just from my main loadout, I can equip an axe, bring the mastery up by playing with axe for a few rounds, and unlock a bunch of cores just like that. So it is a good thing to, use each weapon, level up each weapon if you can. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to use the recruit weapons you're given. You can go back into, the neutral Lesser Nasher here and queue up privately and just practice with each weapon. The more you use the weapon, the more you're going to unlock the mastery. And the way the power level works with these creatures is it's set. So the lesser Nasher's recommended power level is 50. He's always going to be that. He's never going to get stronger. You can put on a starter weapon and fight him and kill him with any one of those recruit weapons. Now, this guy is 100, he's 150, he's 200. These guys are probably going to want to be crafting weapons and armor for to take them on. I mean, they can be killed with the recruit weapons, but this is the easiest one to kind of practice on and figure out which one you're going to want to be using. Now, that's something I didn't do early on in the game, and I wound up crafting quite a few weapons that were elemental weapons that I probably would not have crafted had I known that I had one of each that was free. So take advantage of the recruit weapons. I mean, they're not strong, but it gives you the option to try each one. On the subject of weapons, let's go over how to access your move list. Now, each weapon is going to have different things that it can and can't do, and in this section of your start menu, you're going to see move list here. This is going to explain to you how each one of the weapons works. So very much like Mortal Kombat, when you pick a guy that you haven't played yet, the move list is right here, and it shows you this for every single weapon in the game. So let's talk about crafting weapons and crafting armor. These characters right here, this guy with the awesome beard is our weapon crafter, or melee weapons, and the jacked up chick with the giant man arms is our armor smith. So the way the weapons and armor work in this game is they're split up into different categories according to the elements. So let's open up the map here and show you guys when you go to choose which behemoth or monster you want to fight. They split it up into different element categories. So basically, like fire is strong to ice and vice versa. So you got fire and ice, shock and earth, light and dark, and then you have the neutral. So the neutral monsters are all going to be basically, you can fight them with any kind of gear on, whether you have elemental gear or neutral gear. All your gear is going to do pretty much the same to them, whereas if you're fighting, say, a fire creature and you're using ice, it'll be stronger against that creature. Typically you want to be wearing the armor that will be the same element. So if you're fighting ice monster, wear ice armor, and if you're fighting fire armor, fire monster, wear fire armor. You get the point. So how do you craft new gear is you have to accept your quests like we talked about earlier and complete them, and after you beat a creature, you're going to have the option of, you know, crafting the item made from the monster's parts. So after beating the initial creature, the Nasher, you're going to see that you have the ability to make a Nasher sword, a Nasher hammer, and so on. So basically it's going to take you an initial, like here, if you look on the bottom there, it's going to take some scales and, you know, what looks like a tooth. You make the item out of the parts that you've, you know, broken and smashed off the monster, and then you're able to now upgrade that with cores. The way you upgrade items is eventually, after doing the pursuits long enough and the quests, you're going to unlock the ability to do patrols. Now on the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see that I have the ability to get 10 neutral patrols from doing 10 neutral orbs, sorry, from doing a neutral patrol. You get 10 blaze orbs for fire, 10 ice or frost orbs for, you know, that. Now the way it works is you craft an item, then you use the orbs to upgrade your item. Now I believe 300 is probably the max you're going to get on total weapon and armor to start, and then you're going to be required to upgrade with a little bit more rare items. So as you can see here, for example, my Drask helmet is already at a +6. I used orbs to bring it up, and now it's asking me for a thunder scale, which is a bit more a bit harder to get your hands on, basically. So after 300, the game kind of adds a little bit more of a difficulty curve to it. It adds in stronger monsters, elite versions of those creatures, just harder things to fight. So 300 is kind of like the soft cap and the intro to the game, and then after that you start getting closer towards heading to the end game. So that pretty much covers it for armor and weapons. Next we're going to get into the cells. Let's talk about cells. So the way cells work is there is skills that you can equip in this game. Each one of these skills is going to depend on the style in which you like to play the game. If you're going for a certain type of skill, you're going to need to get it up to +6 as soon as possible to get the maximum benefit of that skill. Now, there are a couple of different ways you can get to that +6. Some of the weapons and armor have a skill on them. So as you can see on the Hellion helmet, I have Rage Hunter on there. So you can start to combine cells, like Rage Hunter cell there. I can combine that cell with that helmet to get more points in Rage Hunter. Now, cells can max out, I believe, at 3. So the way you can max them out is by talking to the middleman back there. But let's first figure out, well, how do we get cells? Cells will be rewarded after completing quests, and you can see on the bottom there, I'm going to get a gold Slayer core. So you take your core, you put it into this core machine, and out you will draw a random cell. It depends on whether it'll be of a certain category, of course, but it's always randomized. Now, when you see your cells here, you're going to see that these ones are all of the brass knuckle. These ones have a sword and target. This one here looks like an aether lantern. So to access all your cells, you can talk to the middleman and click on the My Cells and see an entire list of all the cells that are in your inventory. And as you can see, there's different categories of different cells. And here you can see I have 6 of the same cell. Now, the middleman basically is the guy that you can talk to make your cells stronger. So here this guy is selling a rage cell. Say I have a cell that I want to make more powerful. I can click on this. Sorry, I have one being made right now, but I can click on that little orb there, and I can combine 2 of the cells. Now remember, you can only get +3 as a max. You can't get any higher, so there's no point in giving the middleman any +3 cells unless it's a cell that you're absolutely not going to use, and you want to make the cell Aether Dust so you can purchase one of these with the Aether Dust. There is an option to purchase it with the premium currency, so if you've bought some stuff in the game, you've purchased some cosmetics, and you have some leftover currency, you can spend it on a cell you've been waiting for, but it's a lot easier to dust up some of the cells you don't need to buy that. Ideally, you want to save as many cells as you can, because when you start combining some of the good cells, you can get them to +3 faster. So basically the rule of thumb is if you want something to be, you know, from a +1 to a +2, you've got to combine 2 greens to get a +2 out of it. If you want a +3, you're going to have to combine 2 of the blues to get a +3, and that's the max you can get. You can start mixing and matching to get some randoms. So if you want to try to, you know, play the lottery, if you mix 2 cells of the opposite icon, you will get a randomized cell from a different icon. If you mix 2 of opposite named cells from the same, say like 2 of them that have both wing icon on them, you're going to get a random, but it's going to be of that wing category. So if you use the same category but there's 2 different cells, you're kind of pigeonholed into that category. So if you want to just kind of roll the dice and get something random, mix 2 cells, different names, and different categories. So that pretty much covers the middleman and the cells and how to combine to get the skills and such. Next, we're going to talk about our lantern, which is this little jingly thing hanging on my back. All right, here we are next to Drew. This guy is the lantern guy. So the lantern acts 2 different ways in the game. You've got a quick button press and a button hold press. It's the same button, and it'll charge up with the Aether, the little blue Aether things that you're running around collecting, and as you hit monsters, you will gain Aether. So the Recruit Lantern has 2 specific roles. 1, it can give you a small shield, and 2, it can track the monster. If you tap it quickly during a combat, you get a shield bonus, and if you hold it down, it'll kind of give you the direction of where the monster goes. Not very strong, not a great lantern, but it's, you know, it's a starter lantern. It is what it is. But as you get further on in the game and you complete quests and you do this guy's quests, you're going to unlock the ability to make better lanterns. These lanterns do pretty cool stuff, and you're going to want to use these as much as possible during the fight. So keep an eye on your lantern charge. Don't neglect this. This is a buff that's pretty significant. As you can see here, the Jurassic Lantern that I use has the ability to buff my damage by 30% for 6 seconds, and it can shoot a lightning bolt out at the creature. 30% for 6 seconds is a pretty significant window, so if you're in a team where they can stun and stagger the monster, that moment where the monster is down is a great moment to pop a buff where you can use your lantern, use a potion, get the most damage out of what you can for that few seconds, because the monster is going to constantly move a lot, and you're going to want to take every advantage of the moments the monster is staggered or stunned or down. Speaking of potions, this guy here is going to give you just like 1 or 2 potions you can make in the beginning. But as you complete his quests, he's going to unlock way more potions, and some of these potions get really, really strong later on in the game. This one right here is particularly good. You can place it down and it'll restore health every second to nearby allies for 20 seconds. So for 20 seconds, everybody can just stand in this circle and get healed. That's amazing. That's one of the best things in the game, is the potions. So don't neglect this guy's quests. Do his quests and unlock those potions as soon as possible. It's going to benefit you guys later on when you're trying to kill much harder creatures. Also, the potions, you will have to do one, I believe. Let's go over this real quick, because this is one I got stuck on, the Blitz tonic. So when he tells you to make the Blitz tonic, he's going to ask you to craft one, and then he's going to tell you to use it in battle. The way you equip a potion is you have to go into your loadout, push to the right, and go all the way down here. This is where you can equip your potions, and you can put them on your little menu. You're going to get some of these from completing masteries, and some from the the store and the events and all this stuff. So these are going to stack up on you. You're limited to how many you can bring per match. I believe you get 5 restore health token potions for free. So the Slayer flask is always going to be there, and it's always free. You'll get 5 every round, but everything else is kind of up to you what to bring. So make sure before you go out on a hunt that you don't forget about your potions here. As you can see, I only have 1 on this thing, so I need to craft a couple more of those if I want to have the full amount that I can take with me out on the hunt. And that's pretty much it for potions. Like I said, don't neglect this guy. Get these done as soon as possible. Alright, let's go over how to create wounds on creatures. Now, the War Pike is the only item that can create wounds. There is 2 moves that the War Pike can do. There is the quick attack, and there is the strong attack, which is this one. That one. Alright, so the one that's going to create wounds, and how do you know if you wounded it, is the quick attack. If you're using the quick attack, you're going to keep attacking using the weapon, and you're going to see that orange damage. Ooh, is going to be me wounding the monster. Now I'm going to want to try to work on the same spot. So let's work on this leg here. Oh, you see the aether popping out of his knee? The little cuts? That means I've wounded his knee. Now you can keep working on that and wound that item, or you can move around and try to wound another spot. So the more wounds you do, the more you're going to see these little cuts and this little aether start poking out of the side of the monster. So there is a quest that it's going to ask you to wound a behemoth 5 times. The pike is the only way you can actually do that manually. I don't think there's any other weapon out there that'll allow you to just apply a wound unless you have a specific cell on your weapon. So I believe there is a cell that'll allow you to do wound damage per strike. But yeah, the pike it's going to say in the quest recommended pike. So you're going to be using the light attack. Create a couple of wounds. I believe you might be able to complete the quest by just doing the wound on the same guy in one quest. If you can create 5 wounds in one run, you're set. In the next section, I'm going to show you guys how to complete the interrupts for that same quest, because that's one that some people get stuck on at first, and it gets a little frustrating. Oh, but right now we're going to start out with the hammer and how to do an interrupt. Now you'll see in the move list here, it says that I can use concussive salvo by holding down the triangle button to spend the ammunition. So when you think of hammer, think of it more like a shotgun with a hammerhead on the end of it. So if I pull out my weapon and I hit the triangle button, I will use a shotgun shell to bang, bang, bang. Now that is my interrupt. I can press the right thumb toggle down to reload all 4 shells, and that's the way you're going to do it. Now you can hold that down and charge it, but by just tapping it, it'll do an interrupt on its own. So for the easiest way to complete this quest and to get your interrupts down is you want to just tap triangle when he rushes you. Now that is how you don't do it. Let's try that again here. Make a little distance, let him run at us, and tap triangle. Alright, So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait for Embermane to charge us, and we're going to tap triangle. Holy fuck, I can't do this. I'm trying to record this video and I can't do what I'm telling them to do. Alright, so we're going to let Embermane charge us, and we're going to tap triangle, and there he goes. That is an interrupt there. Now you have a small window of opportunity to take advantage of the fact that he's interrupted here, and if you can land the 4th shot in a row consecutively, it'll recharge your ammo. So let's go for 3 and 4. Now I have full ammo. I can create a little more distance, let him charge us again, and we can try to get another interrupt on him. So let's see here. Nope. Oh, let's make a little more distance here. He looks a little tired, so let's get a little distance here, get him to charge again, triangle, and he's interrupted. So that's 2. So on this fight, you can probably complete this quest in 1 run. You just need to land 5 of those interrupts, and that is pretty much it when it comes to interrupts with a hammer. Well, alright, that finishes our crash course and introduction to Dauntless. I hope this video was informative and helped out you new players to the game. I am by no means a professional at this game. I've only been playing it for, say, a few weeks now, but I'm absolutely in love with it, and I hope that the game, prospers and continuously adds new content and updates and new cosmetics, because it is an amazing game. I still cannot believe that this game is free to play. So if you guys like the video that I did here and you appreciate the information, you can leave a like in the comment below and hit subscribe for more videos. Alright guys, this is Pit Fighter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.